What is up, DTube? What is up, Steam blockchain? So today I'm going to talk about blockchains and the transparency experiment. So something that I have noticed when you're sort of in between two platform ecosystems, some platforms which is not on a blockchain and other platforms which is on a blockchain. It makes you... I sort of been doing this for soon 1.5 years, and the base thing that comes to my mind is that both these platform systems, blockchain systems and non-blockchain systems, whatever we put into these devices is something that it's data that is created, and it will be there forever. So even with a platform without a blockchain, that data, once it has been put into a machine, it probably is stored somewhere, right? So everything that's being put, everything that is being put into, you can even call it the simulation, it's there, and it's going to be there forever. It's permanent. The only difference, if you ask me, even though someone can say something is deleted, someone can say something is deleted. For example, if you delete something on another platform, they can say, oh, it's deleted. But does anyone really believe in that? It's the same with the hard drive. Once something is on a hard drive, even if you delete it, I think you can still recover files. And even if you overwrite something, you can probably still find it some way. So that aspect is something that will enter humans' awareness, that everything that's being put into a machine, it's permanent. So what did enter people's awareness, or some people, some intelligent geeks around 2008, was, well, if we're creating data in the world, why not store it on a permanent ledger? So at least we have some record of it that is somewhat transparent. And the world is sort of going into a transparency experiment. And the reason why I say it's an experiment, because we're not sure if it can succeed, or if it's going to succeed, or if we're gonna fail. So that's why I call it the transparency experiment. So being in between these two platforms, the way I sort of feel with the platforms that you can be on that are not blockchain based, it becomes more concerning for every day that goes, that when you also use blockchain based systems every day, it becomes concerning with platforms that are not blockchain based, because there is no ledger, there's no record, nobody can look into things. It is more secrecy. And I'm not saying that blockchains are not secrecy. There's also secrecy going on wherever there are humans involved. There is a lot of secrecy, and all kinds of things happens. Wherever humans are, all kinds of things happens. I mean, we can even go further to say that even with a human being, how much do you really know about yourself? There is a lot of mystery with each person as well. So yeah, it gets more concerning for every day that goes, with platforms that are not having a ledger, that are not doing some kind of block-based system. Because in a way, I sort of feel that the block system, in a way, it can work for a person. It's a tool, right? It's a human tool, and I think that it's going to be great for majority of people in the long run. And it's nice. I love to see the blocks. I love to see one of the main aspects that I love about blockchains with the blocks being produced is it does seem, at least for myself, it does seem to increase awareness, where you start to think about these things we didn't think about in the past. We didn't think about money that much. We didn't think about maybe politics that much. We didn't think about maybe even security that much, because we usually let a third party deal with a lot of these aspects. So I think many people lower their awareness, and I think that what's good with this blockchain based experiment and blockchains is I think it has the potential to increase awareness in humans, so they're not just trying to evolve a little bit higher above just watching a TV show, or just viewing something on the television, or just playing a game. Trying to create an experiment which makes a person think. Trying to increase their awareness of whatever it is that they're doing with their digital devices. And if they see those blocks, if they sort of see what goes on behind the scenes, it may increase in transparency. It may make them, if they become more aware, they might actually increase their intelligence more, which means they're probably going to try to innovate more. And if they see that they have access to tools, interesting tools, which becomes more widely available when technology goes down in price, they might innovate faster. They might try things that they wasn't able to do in the past because they didn't have the resources. So all of this is an experiment, especially when it comes to transparency, because it's nice to sort of see more information about sort of what goes on, and sort of who is interested in intelligence and who is interested in trying to make things a bit more transparent. Because if we don't make things more transparent, I think it's going to be hard for humans to try to evolve to a state where they're doing more stuff and where they're trying to evolve. Humans need a lot of data. Humans need a lot of information. Humans need a lot of transparency, so they can, if they don't get those things, then they can't use their intelligence to the optimum level. So what is happening when a lot of people get increased awareness for how technology works, how value system works, how politics works, when people get more information, then they can probably make more wise, intelligent decisions based on that data. It's of course still up to the individual to decide what they want to do, but I sort of see it as, for example, let's say you're on a platform that is not blockchain based. It's very hard to get or find information about others, because there's so much secrecy, and systems are so restricted. For example, I can say use YouTube. I love YouTube, but it's just restricted because, yeah, the content creator, he can get tons of views, he can even get good money, but if he doesn't have access to tools which can increase the awareness factor of the viewers, if it's just a few creators that get super empowered, and the awareness factor on the majority of people using a service, if that doesn't increase, then what are we doing here? Yeah, this is not a perfect. Blockchains are not perfect systems. For example, I learn new stuff every day that goes. Like there's so much new information, and you really realize that our ignorance is borderless. We're just gonna increase the our boundaries of our ignorance. So we're gonna learn more, but we're always gonna be ignorant. So I like the transparency factor. I like how blockchains can make humans think a bit more, because it then becomes technology and resources. It's not a passive. It doesn't have to be a passive experience anymore. It means that every second, especially in the blockchain world, when we're creating liquidity with tokens, every second there is some opportunity somewhere that you can take advantage of. And it also means, in many aspects, it's going to take up more energy from a human being, that they have to use their brain more, because yes, we did delegate a lot of stuff to other third parties in the past. A bank could handle a lot of security, yes, but they probably took away a lot of or they limited a person so much that, is it really worth it? In the blockchain space, it means that a person has to increase their awareness for how does a person store stuff? What is the ideal way to store tokens? What does value mean? Do people have hidden agendas? And humans will be humans, of course. Humans will be humans. And we have all kinds of humans on this planet. That means also a person is going to increase their awareness for that aspect. So a lot of stuff going on in this space, but I'm really fascinated to see when all of these systems, for example, we have some big systems, Tron, ERC20 token, Ethereum tokens, EOS tokens, Steam tokens, when all these are linked together on a cross chain, so you can instantly create liquidity, you can instantly send any token, even the Bancor network, any token to any other token in 1 second. That's when I think that the true paradigm shift of blockchain and transparency is going to open up. And I think it's going to lead people to a space where they have a lot of free time to consider a lot of stuff in the world. And there's a lot of people that can basically benefit from this technology. It's going to take a long time, and it's going to be a daily, you can almost say mining process, in mining away at the mainstream consciousness, and try to make it easier for them to both get access and to basically low key try to make the mainstream enter this space. And it's still a lot in the mainstream consciousness. They're not looking at the utility factor at the moment. They're just looking at it as some shiny thing, some shiny coin. But it should be, this technology should basically just be something in the background, working as a utility. Just as one of the co-founders of Bancor said, that when people are using utility tokens, when they're using a token on a daily basis and it has real world value for them, that's when they're gonna value the token. That's when they're gonna see that the price doesn't really matter that much, because they're gonna trade it back and forth daily, and they can see the real world use case when they find ways to use this on a daily basis. And it's gonna be easier. It's gonna become easier as technology evolves, as computing power increases. A big key that's going to set people free is going to be when the monopoly on internet cost of bandwidth, and when the monopoly on high prices on technology, when all that's going to go down in cost, and it's mostly going to be a software experience, that's when we're going to see the real move to a frictionless technology-based future. So yeah, it's fascinating stuff to talk about. And the reason why I'm talking about it is because I've noticed that, yeah, I've sort of realized in this space that, yes, work in many aspects, or like physical work or mental work, even the work I'm doing right now, you sort of realize that in the long run, it's not really gonna matter that much, well, what you do in a day. So I can see very easily how a person can get into the mode of why even do something. But for me, it becomes more about trying to use a little bit of crypto daily, or trying to get inside of a block on a blockchain daily, so it just becomes a routine of using blockchain-based utility services on a daily basis. And that is also when you really look at the token quite differently, because it becomes more of a fun process that is very engaging. And the most fun part in life is to be engaged in a process, be engaged in doing some stuff that you enjoy. So wanted to talk a little bit about that in the video. Hopefully enjoyed DTube and the Steam blockchain. Have a great day, everyone. Bye bye.